Morning Blitz begins now.
Sure does. Halfway through the work week on this fine Wednesday. Last day of July, last day of the Saturday of summer.
Yeah, it's going really fast. And I must say, I'm in the point now where, in the middle of winter, you're like, I swear to God, I will never complain about the heat. Well, then in July, that bet's off.
91 today or something like that?
I'm looking forward to the fall. But, we're heading into the hottest month, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we still got two months of summer left.
Yeah.
You know how September is. It's still hot.
You know what's
September to me is a mental relief. As soon as you hit September 1, I am into the fall, baby.
Are you?
Yep.
Okay. Fall brings college football.
Yeah.
Yes. Where sometimes
August
it's
31st.
90-some degrees in that horseshoe.
It's the end of August for us this year.
Supposedly the big thing going around this week is that Michigan is expected to get notice of the NCAA allegations. Everything that happened last year.
Kelly's so excited.
Supposedly that's going to happen. They're saying it could be as much as a 2-year ban.
Oh, boo-hoo.
So they wouldn't be allowed in the playoffs?
Yeah, I guess that's how that would work. No matter how good you are, you're out of contention.
Well, Harbaugh skips town.
He was gone anyway. I think he was, yeah. He did a Pete Carroll.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Same exact thing as Pete Carroll.
That's right.
You guys have slimy. Chip Kelly did the same thing at Oregon.
Yep.
Guys have a great time. I'm going to go over here. So supposedly, though, that's coming. We'll hear about that this week.
Time to pay the piper.
What are you
it
talking
better
about?
Be a good punishment,
What are you talking about? They did nothing wrong. That guy was just, taking in some games.
Yeah, he was just a fan of all the Big Ten teams,
Absolutely.
Especially Ohio State.
Connor Stallions.
Yeah.
And he's
Connor Stallions.
He's very good with his money to be able to travel and get those kind of seats on both sidelines at those kind of games on that kind of salary. He should be on Mad Money.
$50,000? Wasn't that his salary?
I think it was, something like that.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. He could do all that and pay his rent in 2023 America. That is impressive. Let's sign that guy up to give financial lessons to the rest of us.
When are we going to find out, I wonder?
I don't know. I thought it might have already happened by today, but supposedly it is happening this week. So we will see. I'm sure Michigan already knows. They're probably like, we knew this was coming.
Well, I would think.
Right. It's not like you can, Because I think they tell the school first before it becomes public.
It better be equal to Tattoo Gate. That's all I can say. It should be more than Tattoo Gate.
Well,
which was nothing.
They are starting to retro act some of that stuff. They gave Reggie Bush his Heisman back. Now that the rules have changed a little bit.
Oh, good. Can we get Jim Tressel back?
Well, I'm just saying.
Would that be cool? Would that would that be in the mix here?
By comparison, now Tattoo Gate looks pretty mild.
Oh, my gosh.
Compared to what some other schools have done since that has all
nothing.
went down. Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah, we had one postseason ban. 1 year postseason ban.
Yeah.
And we lost Jim Tressel over it.
Yeah.
The only one that I think the allegations should have been severe, but I still think they punished the wrong people, were when all the Penn State allegations came out about what went on at Penn State. I think they should have laid the hammer down on them.
I think they did.
They did, but they also punished the current class of students that had absolutely nothing to do with...
Them's the breaks, baby. Well, that's showbiz.
I hate it, too. It's just like what happened to Penn State. It's like, okay, you're punishing all people who had nothing to do with it.
Right. That freshman...
How do you differentiate?
I don't know.
You pull the freshman class out and say, we'll let you play on a separate little freshman team so you don't have to be punished?
You punish all the athletic directors and you punish the coaches and you do all that, but those kids that played that game had nothing to do with any of that.
And the kids that are playing in this season of being banned, and the fans, they did nothing wrong, but they're the ones being punished.
It feels like the equivalent of, hey, your dad drove the getaway car during a bank robbery, so we're going to throw you in jail.
Right.
No. What it is like is that you work for a company and the head guy has been siphoning millions off the top and it ends up shutting your company down. So you lose your job because of nothing you did on your own. Too bad. That's the way the world works. I'm so sorry that you didn't know as an incoming freshman football player that your coach sucked and did illegal things. You didn't know that, but that is the way the old ball bounces.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Now, at Penn State... This was stuff, the stuff that went on there happened years and
prior.
years ago that nobody knew about. Those players and didn't have anything to do with it. They didn't know. The fans didn't know, but they're the ones who got punished.
Right.
Wasn't it a current culture happening there? In the football team, in the locker rooms, etc., and so forth? Wasn't that a current culture thing happening at the time?
No, it was
years ago.
Years ago. It was somebody spoke
years
out.
ago when the Sandusky thing came up.
Yeah.
Correct.
Didn't we have current coaches still operating on that team?
Yes, that's where they made the mistake. They kept some of the.
Yeah,
they didn't
they
clean
kept-
house.
right.
They should have cleaned house. As soon as the first Sandusky allegation came up,
You got to punish the program.
Right.
I hate that impacts kids that didn't have anything to do with it, but that's how it works.
Well, those people who covered it up or anything, they should be put in jail.
Right.
That should be the punishment.
Right.
and
You
that
know.
should have been on the first allegation, not the. I
Because-
think it took like 3 or 4 before they finally did something about it. Like it should have been on day 1.
Yeah, and that had nothing to do with football.
Right.
They didn't break any football
Yeah, that's
rules.
true. That
And
is true.
I
That's
do
true.
hate where they go, well, we're going to vacate all those wins. You can't. There's documented video evidence that those games happened.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. Oh, we didn't play that game. Yeah, you did. September 13th, 2000 whatever, you played that game. Want to see
right.
the video? Here it is.
Well, we can relitigate everything that went wrong at Penn State. However, I will say that if Michigan doesn't get a delicious punishment, I'm going to be upset.
I think that's probably going to
I
happen.
just like the term, a delicious punishment.
It has to
You
be
will-
delicious to me.
delicious.
You will probably get what you want out of that deal. Like,
Yeah.
that's probably going to happen. There's
I mean-
too much. I mean, again, there's a reason why. If you remember last year, I can't wait till we go to court. We are going to stand up there and we are going to say our side and everybody's going to know what happened. We're going to court, bring it on. And then all of a sudden we're like, yeah, we're not going to go to court. We're just going to
no.
accept this suspension.
Jim Harbaugh's saying that as he's packing his bags.
Right.
Yeah.
So, San Diego.
Trashman Dave said something interesting. He said, just for the sake of morals, the NFL should have a self-imposed rule. No team shall hire a college coach who is under investigation or under suspension.
I like that.
I do like that. That's a good idea. Because all of them
Interesting.
escape. All of them escape.
Somebody says I'm wrong. Punishing a program isn't the same as punishing the responsible parties. I didn't claim that it was. But you have to punish a program that's operating illegally, like the Michigan program.
Yeah,
It's operating illegally. When you are counting on stolen signs to win a game, then you've got to punish the team. And I'm sorry for you incoming freshmen at Michigan
Well, it's the
University of
whole
Michigan.
team. The whole team gets punished.
But that's the way the old ball bounces.
So now you're a senior, your last year, and now you can't go to the playoffs because of something some jerk did that you knew nothing about.
Exactly.
And the fans don't get to see it happen. And they had nothing to do with it. But they're the one. But they are getting punished. So, and and the whole thing is you punish them to create a deterrent to make sure that you have oversight over your program and prevent stuff like that from happening in the future.
Correct.
So I understand what you're saying, Kelly, and you're not wrong. It just sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah, it does.
And you said that. You go, I'm sorry, it sucks, I know, but that's how it goes. And you're right, and it does suck. And I just feel bad for the players and the fans who had nothing to do with it.
All right. Let's give you something.
All right. Morning Blitz trivia, $25 to waterbeds and stuff. If you're the first one to text in the correct answer at 99700. There is a reality dating TV show that may be coming to Columbus, filmed in Columbus with Columbus people. Which reality show is it? Be the first one to tell us at 99700, and you got the gift card.
6:23 on the Morning Blitz. That's Breaking Ben. That's Kelly Quinn. That's Dick Rick. I'm Lewis. And your Morning Blitz trivia question.
Popular Netflix reality dating TV show is officially going to be casted in Columbus. What is the show? The answer is Love is Blind.
That is such a popular show on Netflix.
I've never seen it.
I've seen an episode, and it wasn't for me. However, if you love like The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, if you love dating shows, this kind of ups the ante a little bit because you can't see the person you're actually spending time with. There's a wall between you. So you have to really get to know someone based on their personality.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, so it's 15 men and 15 women, and they're all from the same city, and it's filmed in that city where they're all from. So if we get the show here, it'll be 15 men and women from Columbus.
Very fun.
So you'll end up seeing, local restaurants and stuff on the show, and it'll be all Central Ohio. And yeah, so they sit in these pods, like you said, with a wall between them. They can only talk to each other. They ask each other questions, get to know each other, and the idea is to fall in love based on personality without knowing what the other one looks like.
Aw. That works. For a minute.
Yeah, and then after that, they visit each other's families, their separate homes, and they go out on the town, and you see them all over Columbus. So that's like 30 new celebrities.
This will be
have all of a sudden.
This will be the wrong thing to say, but I'm very good at saying the wrong thing, as we know, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Uh-oh.
What happens if all of a sudden, if you do not see them, and then you like them, and then they are just a total slug when you do see them? Then you're like, damn.
Well, see, that's the problem with this show, is that they discount the fact that looks are important to people.
Sure.
Now, it's not the only important thing, but you must be attracted to a person you're eventually going to marry.
Correct. I've always said looks get you through. Looks will open the door. Personality will keep you there.
Yeah, I mean, you can, as everybody knows, you can be the most beautiful, gorgeous human being on the planet and be so ugly inside, nobody wants to be with you.
And again, I've got ink, so I don't have any room to speak too much. But what happens if, you've got the Jelly Roll / Post Malone face tattoo guy that you don't see, and then all of a sudden the blinds come down and you're like, my parents are going to kill me for this. They're never going to be allowed a family day. You know what I mean? What?
I guess in the applications for the show, they ask some pretty personal questions, and you have to have a social media presence, and I'm guessing they're not going to put somebody on there who's got some bizarre face tattoos.
Great.
They're probably just not going to accept that.
Great. I go on a reality show and I pick the one guy that's completed his set of limit my employment opportunity tattoos.
Lewis.
Yeah.
You just said the magic word.
What? Tattoos?
You go on a reality show.
Nobody wants to see that.
Yes, we do. You need to do.
Let me get in.
Whoa, no.
Nobody outside of Thick Rick wants to see that.
Come on, Kelly. Don't you want to see Lewis on Love Is Blind?
I mean, yes, I do.
Come on, Lewis. You have to do it for the show. You have to try. You've got to try. Dude, seriously. Come on.
I'm undateable. Nobody wants to date me.
Well, that's why you go on the show.
Aren't you currently living with someone?
Yeah, but they're not dating.
Minor details.
Okay.
I'm gonna open my mouth, say 5 words, and somebody's like, "Yep, nope."
Oh, come on. You got a great personality.
What do you like? Sports, Star Wars.
I mean, listen, no doubt about it. We're going to have to do some coaching with you before you go on the show.
Right. Yes. Oh, this has to happen. We have to try to get you on the show.
Coaching. Here's my life coach for my reality dating show.
All right, here, put this website, make a bookmark here. You need to go to this.
Wait, let's fill what is it? Love is Blind casting?
No, it's cast.
Hold on. Filling it out for me?
Yes, yeah.
Man,
okay, so the website is casting.kinetic content, KINETIC content.
KINETIC content.
Kinetic content, all one word. Casting.kineticcontent.com/Love Is Blind. One word, Love Is Blind.
We're filling out this application. 404 not found. So we'll get to the website.
All right.
And
make sure you put the picture of me up there in all spandex.
No.
Yeah. We want your basic personality, but I might have to dust a few things up here. All right?
By a few things, you mean everything.
We might have to dust a few things off, too. So.
That's right. Hang on. Link to my OnlyFans. That way people check it out and get a little business.
Now, obviously, once the show's recorded, you wouldn't be allowed to talk about it on the air, but every week we could play audio of what you happened to you on the show, and who knows, man?
I'm glad
He's got a look on his face like he's not sure.
Christiana says they really put pretty people on, of course, because it's
Thank you,
TV.
Christiana.
No, I mean, she's not saying that, obviously, you're a good-looking dude. I think we can get you on the show.
Yeah.
So, all right.
They're going to want big personalities.
So we'll have to work on that. But I kid because I love.
This could be something. Oh. Yeah.
Barbara said, tastefully black and white nudes. Let's do this.
What do you do in your spare time? Pose for tastefully shot black and white nude photographs?
Barbara also said, I've never watched this, but I would now if Lewis is on it. Come on, man.
Nobody really wants...
They do.
Look, this is me talking. Nobody wants to see this.
Yes, they do. Look at the text coming in.
Okay, how about this? The lengthy application includes questions like, why do you think you're single?
Have you heard me speak? Shouldn't be that hard to figure out.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's. We're going to get this together. Maybe we can come back to it because I really, really need to see your answers to some of these questions.
Great.
Oh, look at this. Even to get into the application, you have to swear that you are single and not presently involved in a committed, intimate, or monogamous dating relationship or living with anyone with whom you have an intimate or monogamous dating relationship.
He's about to move to Bexley.
That you're not married or in the process of a divorce or annulment of any marriage.
He's not married.
You have got to be absolutely freewheeling single, baby.
When are you moving to Bexley? Well, I don't know what's the deadline. We got to get you into that apartment in Bexley as soon as possible.
Dude, you need a passport. Here's another thing.
Okay.
You do not intend to be a candidate for any public office.
Yeah, that's obvious too. Do they do a background hypothetical? Do they do a background check?
Oh God, he's been arrested 4 times.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, we're going to have to figure this out. We got to get to break. Congrats to James Keel of Groveport. That's James, the Pepsi guy. He was the first one to text in the correct answer, Love is Blind, and he's got $25 to water beds and stuff.
It's the Morning Blitz.
And now it's time for I've Got Something.
Let's see if these dummies have anything worthwhile for us.
Oh, yeah. I have something you might not know, but I'll share with you in a minute. Unless you want me to go first, it doesn't matter. Whatever you guys want to do. Kelly's captivated by the application that I'm never going to make it past.
Oh, it's so great.
There are so many questions on this. I feel overwhelmed for you.
Do you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you have to basically say why it would be so appealing for you to be able to fall in love in their pods. I don't know, man. This is really weird.
We're talking about the reality show Love is Blind. It might be coming to Columbus, so we're trying to get Lewis to apply to get on the show.
Okay. Besides me applying for a reality show, what do you got?
You guys been getting all the election text messages, we need you to donate for this campaign, we got to stop this guy and that girl, and we want your money, and all. Yeah. Have you been getting those?
Oh, yeah.
Most of them are scams, just so you know.
Yeah.
Better Business Bureau says they are at an all-time high. More and more scammers are sending out fake fundraising texts to trick people into giving up their credit card info because they know people are passionate about their causes, and that make you click without really thinking about it. Sometimes they don't even ask for money. They'll tell you to click a link and take a poll to earn a free gift. And then they'll tell you got to cover the shipping for the gift, and that's how they get your credit card information. So if you get any unsolicited text like that, best just delete it. Don't even respond. Don't look at it. Just let it go. And that's unfortunate for the ones that are legit, that are, trying to do things the right way, because then nobody believes them. But problem is, apparently AI has made half of Americans say this. They believe AI has made them less capable of detecting scams. And I can see that. So...
Well, I think the other thing that's preyed upon is the elderly really fall for all this stuff all the time.
It's terrible, man.
Just because they don't know any better, or they get panicked and worried when you're on a fixed income and somebody tells you they're going to, seize your money if you don't pay whatever. Oh, okay, I'm going to pay it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really brutal. Gross.
If you want to donate to a political party, a candidate, whatever, go to their official website and donate.
How about don't call me, I'll call you.
Right.
Yeah. I can honestly say I have never donated to any political party whatsoever.
They take enough of my money. I'm not giving them anything.
Even when they go to your driver's license renewal, hey, would you like to donate? The hell no. Not at all. I don't care if it is just $1.
I'll keep my liver in the grave. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I do give $1 to the wildlife conservation every year when I buy my fishing license.
I love that. That's good.
They asked, would you like to donate $1? Yes, I would.
I am an organ donor, by the way, on my driver's license.
If you knock on my door with a bucket that says money for the, you say money for the needy, I'm going to go, thanks. Have a good day.
Take it.
And take the bucket.
Did you ever see that? I think it was a meme of somebody with a collection plate from church, and they're like, I went to church for the first time this morning. They're so generous. They gave me a big plate of money or something. I don't know. It was stupid. It was very dumb. All right, you guys, I got something.
Thanks, Padre.
Have you heard of the streaming service Shudder?
Yeah. Is that the
horror one? Okay, so I'd never heard of it. It's owned by AMC, and it's been around for 10 years. It's a bespoke service dedicated to horror movies. This is absolutely personally curated. There is a guy in charge of curating every single movie that is on this service. They don't just license a bunch of horror movies. This guy is named Sam Zimmerman. He makes sure that they sort of fit in the genre. So now listen, you guaranteed have never heard of a single movie on this service. There are about 500 titles in the library at any given time, and they are really gross, really gruesome, grisly, stomach-churning horror movies.
I've seen some trailers like a trailer will start for a movie or a show, and I'm like, wow, this looks really good. And then see it on Shudder, and I'm like, damn it, I don't have that. But
yeah,
some of them are very appealing.
Apparently, if you are a horror movie, if you can write a horror movie, they love first-timers, first-time writers. They love to put money into like a decent script.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of the people who have done these like horror movies for the first time for Shudder, because they do produce there are about 30 new movies a year they release. These people are like, yeah, I knew that my movie was way too disgusting for a mainstream movie producer. Disgusting in the way of like how you're murdering people on your show, that they get chances on Shudder. So this is weird. They have very bizarre subgenres. Everything's, like I said, personally curated. If you like to watch a guy pulling a woman's head through her stomach from behind via a hook, this is the service for you. It's $5.99 a month. And there you go. Shudder, the streaming service.
It's not often that I ask for credit for anything, but I'm going to ask for credit for something right now.
Okay.
Kelly said the word horror at least 6 times, threw in words like first time, release, and everything else, and not once did I mention whore.
Well, you finally figured out the joke's run its course.
Let's not get carried away.
You're learning. Maybe we can put you on this reality love show.
Let's hope, yeah.
I'm just saying, that deserves some recognition. I've got something, though, that has nothing to do with whores. You've got a baseball hat on right now.
Yep.
You know the little button on the top of it?
Yeah.
It's called a squatchy.
Squatchy.
You knew that?
Squatchy. I love it.
You knew that?
Dude, I've heard every trivia question on the planet.
Well, I wasn't meaning it as a trivia. I was just passing around some knowledge.
I know.
I love it. Don't ask him stuff. He's a wet blanket.
Did you know that it was a squatchy?
He'll throw a wet blanket right on your excitement.
Totally did.
I've never
just
heard of
doused it.
No, tell me about it. I've never heard of it.
It's called a squatchy. I had no idea that's what... I always called it a button. Because it's shaped like a button.
Yeah.
But it actually has a name. It's called a squatchy. I'm sorry. I'm sure there's some dude making millions of dollars that's getting residuals off of every one of them that's ever been put on a hat, and he's doing well in life.
Can I say this without... Okay, I'm sorry, Thick Rick, but I'm telling you, every time you're excited about something, Thick Rick will say, I know it, and I knew it a week before you did. That's
not true.
That's what you're getting.
That is not true.
Every day this happens to me.
That is not true.
I've got this story. And he's like, oh, yeah, I read about that last week. I'm like, it just happened yesterday. He's like, are you sure? And he's going through his papers.
almost positive I got a dad's cut of that story. Anyway.
Okay. Anyway, a squatchy. I love it.
I had something that Rick already knew. What's the you know what the purpose of a squatchy is?
He knew that last week.
Back when you were having lunch with the inventor of it, he never told you what it was for. I don't know. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm assuming it's to keep the stitching in your hat tight so it, keeps that shape. But I don't know. So I got something coming up. Rick's going to introduce us to some people he's already met, too. Lincoln Park on your morning blitz, 6:51. Kelly, Quinn, Thick Rick, I'm Lewis. Apparently, a lot of people knew what the squatchy was. There's an Urban Dictionary.
Oh, look, you guys just know it all, don't you?
And then Chuck said the squatchy is the worst thing ever. Bend up and hit your head right in the squatchy.
Oh. That would hurt. Right in the crown of your head. Ouch.
And Sean says Shutter's a great app. So
the Squatchy always sucked for trying to spin on your head, I can tell you that. Because it would hurt, that knot right there.
Oh, I'm sure it would.
You can't use that app.
So tell us about your new friends. They
They're
probably
not my
also
friends.
knew what
I
Squatchies
don't
were.
know these people. They're in Peru, but I just thought this was interesting. I saw this on Oddity Central. A group of Peruvian women known as the Phoenix Squad have become famous for specializing in catching unfaithful people throughout the entire South American country. For the past 20 years, they've been doing this, the Phoenix Squad, working to expose unfaithful partners in their home country of Peru. Jessica Molina is the founder and says the group has solved over 10,000 cases over the last 20 years. They use all kind of tools and techniques, old-fashioned detective work, drone surveillance, cameras, everything. From the very beginning, the members have been exclusively female because Molina believes they are most suitable for this type of work. Jessica says women can go unnoticed, camouflage themselves better, and solve problems much more quickly than men.
Okay.
I couldn't tell if that was you agreeing or disagreeing.
No, I mean, I don't know that you can say that one sex is better at hiding it than the other is. I think it's just depends on who the player in the game is.
Well, but who's better at catching is the question.
I might give that edge to women because men are stupid.
There it is, and there it is. Jessica Molina says the Phoenix Squad was born out of people's necessity to gather evidence of infidelity and divorce and child custody proceedings. Over the last 20 years, 70% of the cases they handled involved unfaithful women.
Huh. That doesn't surprise me.
No? Is that right?
No, you know why? Because I think that in some case, Eddie Murphy said it best. When was Raw? 1980s, whatever. Whenever Eddie Murphy Raw came out, men are so wrapped up in what they're doing that they don't realize they're, when women say they're like, if you say, "Oh, I'm gonna go to a movie with the girls," dude's like, "Yeah, I got 2.5, 3 hours to play," not even thinking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Then she goes, it was like the girl that went down to the beach and there was Dexter swinging his junk.
Right there.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think there is some truth in that.
Yeah, they said women were considerably more unfaithful than men over the last 20 years, at least with their clientele. Technically, it's a job, but the members of the Phoenix Squad view themselves as defenders of fidelity, hunting down cheating men and women all over Peru. I'm like, this is a business. I guess it's kind of like Private Detective, though, right? I mean, it's the same thing.
You know what they need? Sketcher Man.
Sketcher.
If you want it all done for free, just make a TikTok about your situation because messy TikTok will find anybody. If you have an issue with your significant other, there's a woman on there who will start sending your man private messages and saying, "Hey, it looks like we're in the same town," and inevitably, the dude responds,
"You want to hook up?" That's entrapment. Yeah. That's entrapment.
So there's that. There is, if you're having if you're on an airplane and you see a guy with a wedding ring flirting with somebody, you can take a little video of him and then put it on the internet, and everybody will find that guy's family, his kids, his wife. I am telling you, this happens constantly on TikTok. It is the wildest thing.
You specifically said messy TikTok. Is that the name of this particular TikTok you were talking about, this one girl?
No.
Oh, I thought
it's just TikTok. A genre of TikTok videos called messy TikTok.
Men would come up with an excuse for I see you have a wedding ring. I do. You know, my wife, she's been gone for almost 2 years now.
She died last night.
Yeah, she fell off a cliff, died on impact, and I just haven't been able to bring myself to take the ring off yet. I know I should, though, because I'm ready to move on with you.
Yeah. And if not, I'm going on Love is Blind.
Right. And now, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
A semi-driver accused of causing a deadly bus crash on I-70 in Licking County last year is staying in jail for now. A judge decided against lowering the $1 million bond for 61-year-old Jacob McDonald yesterday. He's pleaded not guilty to more than 24 charges, including 6 counts of vehicular homicide. Investigators say McDonald did not slow down at all last November when he slammed into the back of an SUV and a charter bus carrying children and adults from Tuscarawas Valley High School. 3 students and 3 chaperones were killed in that crash. Well, the popular deli meat company Boar's Head is recalling another 7 million pounds of ready-to-eat products made at a Virginia plant and distributed nationwide as an investigation into a deadly outbreak of listeria continues. The new recall includes 71 products made between May 10th and July 29th under the Boar's Head and Old Country brand names. So we've got liverwurst, ham, beef salami, bologna, and other products made at this Virginia plant. Like I said, they were distributed to grocery stores nationwide and are responsible for 2 deaths and nearly 3 dozen illnesses. I do love a Boar's Head deli meat.
Let me tell you, if you serve me liverwurst, we cannot be friends.
What is liverwurst?
Ever.
What is liverwurst?
I don't even... It can't be good, because...
I've heard of it, but it sounds like something you'd eat in the 1920s.
I was gonna say, does anybody...
Right, with the bratwurst?
Does anybody under 70 like liver?
I like chicken liver.
Do you really?
Oh. Yes, I do.
Oh.
I like it deep. I like deep fry or fry it. No, I fry it in chicken. After you fry up a chicken, fry up the chicken liver in the chicken fat.
I meant Braunschweiger, not bratwurst. But bratwurst, I'm guessing liverwurst is like it's liver in like a sausage.
I don't know.
You know
They
what I
look
mean?
like it looks like thick cut bologna.
Oh, okay. Then that's like Braunschweiger.
It's like, if you serve me liverwurst, it's like, oh, am I in prison? Is it this or nothing? Is that all that is? It just sounds wrong.
It's the worst.
Well, a French canoe and kayak coach working at the Paris Olympics has been detained after allegedly hitting police officers who stopped him for peeing in the street. The French... Now, listen, you can poop in the Seine, but do not pee on the street.
Well, yeah.
By the way, they are swimming in the Seine now today. So apparently it's passed its E. coli test.
Oh, who doesn't want to take a swim through raw sewage every now and again?
But then again, so this guy's just grossing things up now with his peeing in the street. So the French Canoe and Kayak Federation has said the coach, Guillaume Berg, has been suspended from his duties. He was primarily working events at the canoe and kayak venue and not serving as the head coach, so it's not like a huge deal. But anyway, this guy decided to whip it out in public in the middle of the street in France and take a whiz and then threw a punch at a cop. So not good.
Ooh,
Those are your 3 things.
Mike just whipped it out and said he's 45 and likes liverwurst.
Yeah.
Ron said liver and onion Thursdays.
I hate liver. Hate it.
Yeah.
Can't even stand the smell of it.
But is there liver in liverwurst? It's liver sausage, a kind of sausage made from liver.
Like a brat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds awful.
Yes. It's got the word liver.
How about pimento loaf?
With all the...
Oh, there's some gross-looking lunch meats at the
You know
deli
what?
counter.
Do you know what pimento loaf is? That's where you know that just sat the vegetables on top of whatever the meat substance is and just pounded them in.
Right.
Star set on your morning blitz 710 with Thick, Kelly, and Lewis. Good morning. We talked a while back. Was it the CEO of Chipotle?
Yes.
Oh, wait. Before we get into Chipotle, you want to listen for Heaven Beside You from Alice in Chains this morning. We'll play it before 8 o'clock. When you do, be caller number...
Kelly, you're not doing your job.
Oh. Caller?
Yeah.
22.
22. Be caller number 22.
And listen, you guys feel free to throw out numbers yourselves. It doesn't always have to
You
land
are the
on
number
me.
person. You're the number person.
I just want to spread the wealth and joy. I'd love for you to have the happiness of being able to choose the number.
You are the number picker. You pick them better
22.
than we do. And we're going with 22 at 800-821-9970. When you hear Heaven Beside You by Alice in Chains sometime between now and 8 o'clock this morning, that's your chance to win tickets to see Primus. Now, Chipotle.
Yeah.
We talked a while back about, was it the CEO who came on and said, we make all of our bowls the same. Everything is proportioned the right way.
Yes.
But all of us know that that's a load of BS.
Yeah, and there's a viral TikTok challenge now that is forcing them to address the complaints about their small portion sizes. The Chipotle Camera Trick Challenge. started trending. I don't make these names up.
No, it's not that.
We all heard it. Go
We
on.
did.
Chipotle?
Chipotle.
F you.
Go on.
F you and F you, F you and F you.
I didn't know there was a Chipotle FU challenge.
Anyway, it started trending after a Chipotle customer. Chipotle? That's what my son calls it, on purpose. Chipotle. Customer posted a video of an employee who added more food to his bowl because he was being filmed. So because the guy was holding up his camera filming him, the guy working there added more. The video got over 2 million views and has inspired similar videos to get bigger portions. Now, the head of Chipotle, CEO, Brian Nicole, says they are training and coaching their employees to make sure they are consistently making bowls and burritos correctly. He said there was never a directive to provide less to our customers. But I just find it funny that all of a sudden, well, we'll start making videos of you guys making our bowls, and now all of a sudden it's really got their attention.
That's right.
I'm telling you, it depends on the store.
I agree.
And it depends on the time of day.
And I will say the same thing about every fast food restaurant out there.
If you are heading out for the day, like if you're leaving for the day, or they're about to close, like you roll in there at like 10 till 9 and they close at 9, you're getting one of two things happens. Either you're getting nothing because they don't want to make any more and you're getting what's left, or they've already made too much, they're going to have to throw it out, so you're hitting the mother load because they want to get rid of it all. But I think it differs per store. They might say that we're going to give you 6 ounces of chicken, but in some places that might be 5, some places that might be 7. It just depends.
Well, there's an easy fix. Use a measuring cup. Really?
Yeah.
That's an easy fix.
Yeah, I always watch when I go through and when you meat, I want steak. They put it on and I look and then I know whether or not I got to order extra.
You ever had there's two kinds of people that work at Chipotle too. You have the happy-go-lucky. They're so excited that you're there. What kind of beans would you like with that? Or you have the beans.
Yeah.
Kind of meat you want.
Dude wants to be somewhere else.
You want anything else on this? Or am I just
the job hasn't sucked the life out of one person yet, but it has sucked the life out of the other
one guy,
employee.
right?
Yeah.
The one guy's like, my parents said to study hard, and this is what happened. Highly suspect on the Morning Blitz, 7:25. Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn. I'm Lewis. And if you remember Friday during Christmas in July, when we were talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, I said the first 5 minutes of the movie will make you like NSYNC quite a bit. And Rob from Mansfield said, Lewis, forgot to say something more. Saw the new Deadpool movie. You were right about appreciating NSYNC during the opening. One of the best. It is phenomenal.
Look at that.
So. Is it just jammed with NSYNC songs or something?
It's Bye Bye Bye, but it is amazing.
Great.
And you will appreciate it.
I already appreciate the song, so I can't wait to see the movie.
Yeah, it is good. So the intro's on TikTok. You can find it. It's just a lot of fun. So let's talk about the Olympics, because that's what's happening right now. It's going on in Paris. The Seine is full of, well, literally ish, and people are swimming through it. The U.S. is ahead in overall medal count, but we're down in gold.
U.S. women's gymnasts, congratulations to them. That was so fun. It's the first Olympics I've actually watched with my own 2 eyeballs. It was glorious.
But
you mean a first event this year? That was the first one?
We came in this morning, and Thick Rick had this story about an Olympian. And, yeah, I'll let you... let Blitz Nation in on the secret of this.
Now, our question is, should this man be an Olympian? He's a 29-year-old Dutch guy, sand volleyball player. Steven van de Velde was jailed for 4 years in the United Kingdom for raping a 12-year-old British girl back in 2014 when he was 19.
Okay, quick correction. He was sentenced to 4 years. He served 12 months.
Oh, this said he was jailed.
Yeah, he was sentenced for 4 years.
All right.
Served 12 months.
I'm glad you knew that.
Yeah.
Under Dutch law, the charge of rape... Oh, maybe this is why so he was sentenced. Under Dutch law, the charge of rape was changed to fornication instead of being called rape. Whatever Dutch law says, I don't know. But Van de Velde was booed by the crowd when he took the sand court for his debut match on Sunday. The Dutch Olympic team has admitted to protecting a child rapist, that was a quote, after he was allowed to skip his post-match interviews on Sunday. And he has his own accommodations away from the Olympic Village and a squad of bodyguards. This guy. There's a petition calling on the Olympic Chiefs to kick him out of the games. It's got over 100,000 signatures. And the British Olympic Association is very angry about him competing. And he's set to play at least 2 more games in the tournament as the Netherlands face Chile and Norway. So this is sand volleyball. He's on the Netherlands team. And, should this guy be an Olympian?
No. I mean, no.
Girl's 12.
Yeah.
Again, if this is... I have some sympathy for people who... The sweetheart rule. I was, I dated her in high school. I graduated. She was still 16. We'd already been dating for 2 years. I was 18 or 19. I have some sympathy for that. But 12, come on.
How about the wildly different standards? Like in Japan, they sent the gymnast home because they caught her smoking, and she's 19 years old, and you have to be 20 years old to be able to smoke in Japan. They caught her smoking. They sent her home.
Yeah.
She was absolutely not going to represent Japan.
Right.
Because of that. And the Netherlands is cool with a child rapist because he's a good sand volleyball player.
Oh, it's fornication, Kelly. It's not rape.
It's really gross. It's this man. His crime has lifelong consequences.
That's what I think. I think there are some things you can't forgive. Like, there are some things that are unforgivable. If you want forgiveness for that, ask Jesus.
Well, listen, this guy is married now. He's got a kid now. He is already living a better life than he should be.
Right.
You should not be an Olympian. You should not be allowed on any Olympic team. And whatever Olympic team, Dutch Olympic Committee, you should be sanctioned for allowing this.
Yeah. Bob just sent an interesting text. He said in England, at age 13, with their parents' permission, women can get married. Or children can get married.
And guess what? This is even younger than that.
Right.
This is the girl he raped.
Yeah, and this wasn't marriage. This was rape.
I met this girl on Facebook and traveled to the UK to rape her and go back home.
I think there's something... You see it in people... This guy, you see it in, like, Jared from Subway. There's something broken in you if you find a young child attractive in that way. You know what I mean?
Listen to this little nugget, too. So he goes to meet this young baby, and then afterwards told her to go get a morning after pill. He went home. She went to get the pill, and the pharmacist was like, oh, no, and called the cops. That's how he got busted.
Wow.
Yeah, like that. I mean, there's just something... It's just not wired correctly.
Well, in my opinion, you did this when you were 19, you're 29 now. You should still be in jail. You should still be in prison for this.
So based on what you just said about that, this was statutory rape, right?
I have no idea what... Yes, a kid, a child,
now,
12 years old.
I know that.
That's what statutory rape is.
Yes.
In all cases.
Yes.
Okay, then why
well, no,
what's your question?
No, it's not statutory rape unless it's... what's the word I'm looking for? Consensual. It is if it's a child, but what I'm saying is...
It can't be consensual as a 12-year-old. There's never a case where you are having consensual sex with a 12-year-old.
I know that. I understand that.
What are we trying to...
I was just talking about whether it was against her will or not. And I know that doesn't matter. It's still statutory rape.
Does not matter.
I didn't realize. I thought like he did it against her will, and that doesn't change it. I just didn't know that until you told that story about her going to get the morning after pill and stuff. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's something. Let's come back and discuss more. If you have a comment or a text, feel free to send it our way. You can always call us at 800-821-9970 or text us to 99700. But I think
specifically, I'd like to know if you think it's cool that this guy's in the Olympics.
I haven't seen anything that's come across our text yet that says, give the guy a second chance, because I do think there are some things that do not get second chances, and this, in my opinion, is one of them. And I have the most questionable morals of anybody in the room.
The fact that your Olympic committee has to have you in protective custody outside of the time you're playing should tell you something.
Tell you everything right there. Allison Shames on the Morning Blitz, 741. Kelly Quinn, Lewis, that's me, Dick Rick. And Rachel picking up tickets to see Primus.
And Rachel
being caller number 22 during Heaven Beside You.
Rachel Andon from West Mansfield.
All
I didn't
right.
know there was like an East and West Mansfield.
Isn't there an East and West everywhere?
Well, yeah, but I didn't know it was like officially called West Mansfield.
Oh, okay.
It's not a West Columbus.
It's true. I mean, there's
Isn't there?
technically
Well,
by,
there's a
by
West side.
definition there is.
But I mean, this is like the official name is West Mansfield. I had no idea. Never heard of it. Like
All right.
West Jefferson.
You learn something new every day.
Of course, I've never heard of just Jefferson, so.
But technically there would be. So we were talking about the Olympian, the Dutch volleyball player, 12-year-old girl. He's an Olympic athlete, despite the fact that he was convicted for fornication over there because they don't have necessarily a statutory rape charge the way they do over here. So there's a lot of question of whether this guy should even be allowed to compete in the Olympic Games. And I think the majority of us would agree no is the right answer there.
Well, you know what I just read, and so this happened 10 years ago, is a vote by the Senate of the Netherlands just introduced a consent-based definition of rape into the country's Sexual Offenses Act. They've never had that, where they recognize that sex without consent is rape. That's why his charge got changed to fornication. That's insane, but now it finally just happened in March of this year. It's now called rape. I'm like,
That's crazy.
how could it take that long?
A lot of people not happy about this. Nicholas says, F the Netherlands, F the Dutch. That child rapist shouldn't be seeing the light of day. Nikki said, everything about this makes me sick. Byron said, this guy should not be in Olympics. In my opinion, he shouldn't even be breathing. The word you're looking for is forcible, not consensual.
Goose said, ban him from the Olympics. How ban him from Kroger?
And then another response, kill the pedo. The pedo ammo is cheaper than the taxes that they'd pay. A lot of people not happy about this, and then 100% agree. Like, this guy should not be. This is what you're going to represent your country with,
It's indefensible.
right?
Several people think he should be there for archery as the target.
Or skeet shooting, for that matter.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's just it's just messed up that's the route you would go. Like, why? And this is something where it's not like the world's not watching. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to get away with this. Like, there's a ton of all these athletes. This is probably the only time in a lot of their careers where they will receive any type of exposure whatsoever.
Little interesting side note is I told you he is married with a child, and his wife, I think, is a German volleyball player. Anyway, you can look her up if you like, but her Instagram is slammed with comments about, so you married a pedophile. What's that like? And, all kinds of comments because, who marries a pedophile?
Did she know?
Did she know, or did this come out now?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Because that's kind of one of those things that I think you have to be upfront with in the relationship. You can't let that come up down the road.
I do think, wouldn't you know that your significant other spent time in prison?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not the kind of thing that you just, that's one of those things you got to disclose right away. If you're dating someone, you can't let that come up at get blindsided at family dinner down the road. That's not going to go well.
Jeez.
So, yeah, I mean,
Do you know the age of consent in Hungary is 12?
yeah, but what was it here? I mean, once upon a time when a long time ago, you were hopefully married by 14.
That's
Obviously,
true.
things are a little bit different
yeah.
now, and rightfully so, but
The average age,
Yeah.
max age, was a lot lower. But
again, we're
I will
still-
say that in Hungary, where it is 12, their partner must be under 18. That's so
Not that that makes it better.
I know.
we're still talking about
It's just
a
crazy.
12-year-old kid.
Yeah, I mean, when you just think around other places in the world have a very different view on that.
Which is why I think you're broken and you're not wired right if you find that attractive. Because again, the girl that lives in my household came into my life on a daily basis when she was 12. And despite the fact that she's 18 now, even when she walks in the house, I still see a 12-year-old girl. Like that.
Yeah, no, I get it. I
And
know.
you have a daughter, so you understand
I
this.
absolutely understand that.
So,
But,
like,
yeah.
you have to have something broken to think that a 12-year-old girl is attractive.
And we have 100%, it would appear on text of agreement that this guy should not be in the Olympics.
Also, I have never, ever, ever, ever spoken to anyone who's had anything to do with post-release counseling, sex therapy, anything like that, that ever indicates that a pedophile can be reformed. Now, I might be wrong. I'm telling you that anybody, and then I don't know a lot of people like this, obviously, but people who've had anything to do with post-release situations, inmates, the recidivism is off the charts with pedophilia.
Tristan said, and this is where I say the disclosure has to come up at first. Tristan says, babe, why'd we get denied to buy that house beside the school? Yeah, that's got to come up. Speaking of coming up, there's a new place that you might want to check out that people aren't necessarily happy about the name.
Yeah, it's called Overdose Hot Chicken. Now, this has taken over the former home of Lenny's Chicken Fingers on the Hilltop. All right? Have either of you heard of this place? All right. Well, they did a soft opening on Monday, and they do plan to serve menu items like chicken blunts and joint fries.
So it's a weed shack.
No, not really. It's just it's a theme, yes. But Columbus City Council member Melissa Green is not happy about the name Overdose Hot Chicken. She says, I have a responsibility to the people that I was elected to serve, and that includes not only those who live in our neighborhood now, but also those that have lost to the tragedy of the overdose epidemic. Now, they say that the name is just meant as a way to reflect the spiciness that they offer, because when you order your spice level, you can go at the top. The highest level is called overdose, like atomic wings kind of thing. But they chose to use the name overdose. They said there was no joke or bad intention here, and they said they're open to community feedback. But I just wondered where you guys, how you guys kind of felt about that. Do you see a problem with calling it overdose? Because to me, overdosing isn't what killed them. Their addiction is what killed them.
It's that Parmesan garlic. It be calling me, man. Just calling me.
But, so 99,700, is this, is anybody eating there? I'd like to know if it was any good. But does anybody have a problem with this being called Overdose Hot Chicken?
Sublime on the Morning Blitz. 7:52. Thick, Kelly, and Lewis. Speaking of overdosing, their lead singer, a victim of the overdose.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Way back in the day. A lot of that happened. A lot of that going around in the 90s, though. A lot of
still
that
going
around. We're talking about a new spot that's opening on Hilltop called Overdose Chicken.
Overdose Hot Chicken.
Overdose Hot Chicken.
Yeah, it's where Lenny's Chicken Fingers used to be.
So the idea is you overdose on the hot sauce. So would you like that rubbed, tossed, or injected?
Right. But our city council member, Melissa Green, is not happy about it, wants the name changed.
Roger said, are we really this sensitive? I guess nuclear is disrespectful to Hiroshima survivors.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had an uncle die of cancer. Are we going to change the astrological sign? I don't want to hear cancer the crab is an astrological sign. That needs changed. I mean, that's basically the same thing, right?
That does make some sense.
It's the beauty of a free market economy. You can name your restaurant whatever you want, and we have the freedom to either go there or not.
Right.
I had a thing in college where I always wanted to open a Hooters for gay people and call it Balls. I swear to God, I did. Like, where are we going to watch the game tonight? We're going to Balls. That's what I wanted to do. I thought it'd be great.
How did that idea never get off the ground?
Again, do not include that on your application for Love is Blind. Which, we're hearing that the Love is Blind reality show might be coming to Columbus. We want to get Lewis on the show.
You don't think that's a great idea?
I didn't say that. I don't think it'll do well to get you on the show, though.
Oh.
But it shows your great personality. That's what
appreciate it.
Oh, man. Pam says all she knows, she's now hungry for some good fried chicken.
Well, I mean, it's your right as a business. You can make your theme whatever you want. You don't have if you don't like something. I see where the sensitivity thing comes in. If you don't like something, you don't have to go there. Which is why I never understand why people get so uptight about a song they hear or a TV show. No one's forcing you to listen or watch it.
Yeah, Lewis.
You know, we're all walking around life, sort of experiencing life through the grid of our own experiences. And if the name of this overdose hot chicken is particularly, like, personally a punch in the gut because you have experienced, like, a family member, you know, with drug problems or whatever, I fully support your freedom to not support a business that decided they would use the word overdose in the name of their chicken establishment. I get why that would be offensive to somebody. You know, just don't go.
Yeah.
But that's my thing. Just don't go.
Yeah.
It's not offensive to everybody. You know, again, it's like a particular comedy. Everybody gives comedy so much thing. No one, last time I checked, if you don't like a particular comic, nobody is sitting you down going, you're going to watch this guy or we're going to take your house. Like, it doesn't happen. So you get all worked up over it. And most of the people who get all worked up over it would never have watched it had somebody not thrown a fit about it, and then they did watch it and go, well, this is offensive. Well, you never would have watched it anyway.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Lot of comments now coming in on your idea, Lewis.
Applause is $1 million idea. It might be $1 billion
Mike
idea.
said it's an amazing idea. You should do it. Doug did say the Bulge would be a better name, though. And Goose wants to know what the uniform of those ball servers
Same
is.
as the Hooters girl.
The same tight
short
orange shorts.
Absolutely. Only no tights underneath, though.
Okay, so you want the name to also be well viewed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now, all right, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
3 inmates are dead, 9 others hospitalized after a huge fight in Nevada's only maximum security prison. It happened yesterday at Ely State Prison in Ely, Nevada. No details about how or why the deaths and injuries or even the fight occurred. The prison does remain on lockdown. That seems like the scariest situation to ever be in. Can you imagine being in prison and all of a sudden a giant, like, prisoner fight breaks out? That's like a thing of nightmares.
You don't know who's getting shanked.
There's some shanking, though.
Yeah.
Dang. Anyway, all right. The director of the conservative initiative known as Project 2025 is stepping down. It was created, I guess this Project 2025 is created as a wish list, quote unquote, for the next Republican president to use in their first 180 days in office. Democrats have made it a campaign issue, repeatedly linking Project 2025 to former President Donald Trump. But Trump is like, no, this is nothing to do with me. And his campaign issued a statement yesterday saying reports of Project 2025's demise would be greatly welcomed. Like, he doesn't want anything to do with it.
And
so
he's been saying that for a while, and I keep hearing that. They actually refer to it as Trump's Project 2025. That's how, like, if you watch MSNBC or CNN, that's what they call it. Oh, Trump's Project 2025. And then he keeps saying he's got nothing to do with it. I'm like, can somebody tell me what's going on?
Well, that's what's going on. Lululemon has pulled its new leggings from its website after these leggings were buried in negative reviews for creating a look that made your butt look long. They call it the long butt look, which nobody's looking for, by the way.
What's that?
Apparently, so they're called Breeze Through leggings. They're $98, and they have this V-shaped back seam, which is the primary cause of the complaints. Reviewers said the seam created an unflattering, long butt look, and the V-shaped seam was like an arrow pointing right to your butt crack. And they're like, nobody wants this. So Lululemon has had a tough year. Their business, which is really pricey athleisure clothing, if you've never been to a Lululemon, its stock has fallen 50% so far this year. And in just this past month, it's fallen 16%. So things are not looking great for Lululemon, although I'm sure they're still doing gangbuster business in the malls. I never see anyone in there when I'm at Polaris. I don't know. A $98 pair of leggings too pricey for me, so I'm not interested.
I don't like those. I had them when I was doing my last OnlyFans shoot, and it did not make things look right.
Give you the long butt look, did it?
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that. All right, those are your 3 things.
Local H is on the Morning Blitz. It's 8:09 with Thick, Kelly, and Lewis, joined by Dustin, who's going to play for a shot to win tickets to the Easy Riders Rodeo. The way this works is Rick is going to read an Olympic sport, or a sport,
a sport.
Dustin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Dustin will determine whether or not this is really an Olympic sport or not. Which should be... Are you up to speed with your Olympic sports, Dustin?
I've been trying to watch it as much as I can.
Okay.
Well, it may not matter this year because it's like any time in the history of the Olympics has this ever been an Olympic sport. So that's how this will work. So let's start here, Dustin. Has this ever been an Olympic sport? Motorboat racing.
I would say no.
1908 Olympics.
What about motor boating?
Did they even have boat motors in the motorboat?
Is that an Olympic sport?
Oh, you motorboated it, didn't you?
I feel like I could be a gold medalist. Just saying.
Yeah. I don't even know how they had boat motors in 1908.
1908? Yeah.
That's shocking.
You had cars in 1908, didn't you? When was the Model T?
1920 something.
Yeah, you had you had boat motors to get ships across the ocean for wars.
Okay, all right. So yeah, they were able to make those, I guess.
1908 Model T.
Okay.
Oh, all right. All right, let's try this one, Dustin. How about rock climbing?
I would say yes.
There you go. Yeah, just debuted in 2020.
Really?
In Tokyo.
See, I would have thought that would have been there like in the early days of the Olympics, like the Greeks were out there climbing mountains with free climbing.
How about... All right, you got one. How about bowling?
I would say yes.
Nope, hasn't
Really?
been there yet. Bowling was invited as a demonstration sport to showcase itself about 20 years ago, but they still haven't gotten approved to be an Olympic sport yet. They're trying. They're trying really hard.
I would have thought bowling would have been.
It should be. I feel like it should be in there. All right, we got to get you another one on the board here. How about billiards, shoot and pool?
Yes.
Oh, man,
really?
Dustin. Yeah, no,
Whoa.
never been an Olympic sport. No.
Oh, these are things that seriously should be on the Olympics. That's funny.
Yeah, something about pub games. They frown on pub games, and billiards is evidently is considered a pub
So
game.
does that mean darts isn't?
Correct. Same reason.
What about flippy cup?
Flippy cup. Wait, is that what they call beer pong now?
Same thing. Whatever.
Beer pong should be an Olympic event.
Say it.
All right, how about karate?
Yes.
Yes. Was introduced again, last Olympics 2020 in Tokyo. I'm surprised that took that long.
Right.
I would have thought karate would have been there forever.
If Greco-Roman wrestling can
Right.
be an Olympic sport, why couldn't karate?
All right, we got to get you one more here, Dustin, to get you these tickets. How about tug of war?
I would say no.
Did you say yes?
I think
he said yes.
I said he would say. I think he said I would say no, but it's probably a yes.
Yeah,
I think
that's what
pretty
I
much
heard.
what he said.
It was part of the Olympics from 1900 to 1920. They had tug of war. That's where that was the sport I ruled at on
Were you the anchor?
field day.
Were you the anchor?
I was every time. Okay. They said get back. That was the only time I came out for field day. That was the only thing I did was anchor the tug of war.
First picked.
All right, hey Dustin, how about video games?
Oh my gosh, I would say no.
Now we got some tickets.
Dustin.
It is gaining recognition. Esports is gaining recognition. They are trying to get it in there. I mean, I don't know. I'm a gamer, but I don't know about video games in the Olympic. It's a video. I guess your hands are the athlete.
Does take some coordination. Dustin, you got a pair of tickets to the 2024 Easy Riders Rodeo. Special guest Wade Jennings, Demon Jones, Taproot, Smile Empty Soul, and more. Happening Thursday, August 29th through Monday, September 2nd. Get more info at easyridersevents.com. 8:23 on the Morning Blitz. Dick, Rick, Kelly Quinn. I'm Lewis. Happy Wednesday. Halfway through the work week already. So, I was looking at pictures, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and you'll kind of see where this is going when we get into couples therapy in a little bit. But I remember being... Would you say that insecurity leads to a lot of problems in relationships?
Absolutely.
I think we can all agree with that, right? So, I remember being at a Monday Night Football game. The Bengals were playing. I can't remember who they were playing. But at the time, Lauren and I were at the game. And we had just walked into the stadium. It might have been like midway through the first quarter or whatever. And I got a picture from my ex, like my ex from a long time ago. This was pre-Lauren. And she sent me a picture of a Bengals beer cup with the stadium in the background. It wasn't her in the picture, but she said "Who Day" with a question mark. And so I responded. I'm like, wow, I just got a message from... I was honest about it. I'm like, I just got a message from Andrea. This is weird. I'm like, I think she's at the game. And Lauren's like, oh my God, I want to meet her. Because they'd never met. So I said, all right. So I sent her a message back. I'm like, are you at the game? She's like, yeah, there's a nursing convention in Cincinnati, so I'm in town for the game. I'm like, oh, wow, okay, cool. I'm like, well, let's grab a drink. Let me buy you a beer or whatever if you're here. So I said, whatever. So she's like, yeah, sure. I never heard back from her for the rest of the game. And I told her what section we were in because we always sit in the same section on the field. So I said, come down, we'll have a drink. Never heard anything until after the fact. And then I was like, hey, I wish you could have came down and had a beer. She's like, oh yeah, we were just busy with nurses stuff. I'm like, at the game? Okay. And then and this might be the wrong thing to say, and I'm probably going to get lambasted for this, which is why I'm asking you, Kelly, if you think my reasoning is correct. I looked at her, I had not, honest to God's truth, had not looked at her socials in years, had not looked at anything about her for years. But I saw pictures of her recently, and she had gained some weight. And I think I had told her up front that hey, Lauren and I are here. I'll give you a drink. I let her know that I was not alone. Like, it wasn't one of those things. She chose not to meet us. I think there was some insecurity there.
Or
because she was a dancer in college.
Or maybe she just wanted to send a friendly text and wasn't looking for a social commitment out of it. Like, she was busy with her nurse friends and wasn't looking to break off from her nurse friends to have a beer with you and your girlfriend. Like, that's what that wasn't what that text was for. It was just to say, hey, I'm at the Bengals game too. Peace.
I like my idea better. My thought lie better.
I feel like you're thinking too much. It's not. I think it's an Occam's razor type situation. It's the most simple explanation, which is she was busy with her friends. Period.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think she was probably thinking that hard about it either. But I could be wrong. What do I know? I don't.
You're a girl. You're a woman.
If I'm at a game with friends and my ex-boyfriend from 10 years ago, I send a quick text to his, hey, you're probably here. What's up? We're here too. Whatever. I'm not looking to have to break off from my friends and have a beer with that person. That's not in my plans for the day.
If I told you that all during the time that I knew her when she was in college, her mom would get on her for every pound she may have gained. Not me, her mom.
Well, then I'd be flaunting the fact that I'm free from my mom's control and I've put on some weight. Yay. That's the... I don't know. You may be right. You know the woman better than I do. I've never even heard of her before right now. I'm just saying it might be just a simple, like, oh gosh, yeah, I don't really... It's kind of an emotional... you don't want to take an emotional trip.
See,
That's not what you're looking for out of a Bengals game. You're not looking to reflect on a failed relationship. That's not what I want. I don't want that out of my day today. I want to have a great time at the football game.
When she sent the message, did she know at that moment you were with Lauren?
No, I told her after the fact.
After she invited?
Yeah, after I found out she was at the game.
Yeah, we're getting text. She was testing the water. As soon as you said Lauren, the boat sank. Yeah, she was trying to link up, but then you said Lauren was with you, and so she didn't want to come see you.
Lauren had wanted to meet her. I wasn't even going to say hi. I wasn't going to do anything. I was just going to respond hi. And Lauren's like, oh, let's go meet her, because she'd never met her. So Lauren instigated the meeting thing. It wasn't me.
Right.
Because she had wanted to meet her.
But yeah, so many texts coming in right now that once she found out you were with Lauren, then she's like,
I will just guarantee you from my point of view that anytime I send out a friendly text, I'm not looking for a social obligation out of that. I'm not looking for anything other than hi. Hello.
Have you ever looked at and I know the answer to this, so I'm asking a loaded question. Have you ever looked at an ex's socials and went either, they traded up or traded down or downgraded?
Oh, I think you always want to know about the next person.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Because she married a hobbit. If I ever met the guy, I would have been like, my precious.
Your rock station, 99.7 The Blitz.
Oh, you still have feelings for her?
No, not at all. Not in the least.
oh, she's a hobbit.
Not. But I think it's human nature that you look and you see if anybody's traded up or traded down.
Yes.
Really?
You should definitely consider yourself to be the best they're going to do.
Absolutely.
And then when you find out they do better, that is a gut punch.
If they traded down, if they traded up, you're like, damn.
You're all in your vanity.
If you traded down, you're like, yeah, let this get away. Anyway, coming up, we'll get into couples therapy.
This relates.
This might have a little insecurity. I'll tell you about a friend of mine that had an experience last weekend, actually.
Okay.
So this should be interesting. Bring me the horizon on the morning Blitz, 8:38. It's Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn. I'm Lewis. Little couples therapy on a Wednesday, because that's what we do. You guys ready for this?
Ready.
Okay, there's no letter involved in this, because this just happened. Okay? Literally, Hardy was in town last week, Friday. Correct? I think.
Show sold out.
Sold out show, Cincinnati. So, a friend of mine, I could say his name because he's the one that tells me this story. So, my friend Kevin, I was talking to him about one of our college roommates is coming in town, and we were talking about getting together in September for this thing. So, he went to school in Wisconsin for 2 years. I think University of Madison. Don't correct me on that. But he transferred out and transferred back. So he finished at UC, but he went to school for 2 years there first. So a girl he dated for a little while in Wisconsin, came to town for Hardy. So she reached out to him knowing he's from Cincinnati. She reached out to him on Wednesday or Thursday of last week and said, hey, I'm going to be in Cincinnati. Can you give me some ideas for places we could eat and places we could go and places we could hang out? We're in town for Hardy. So my friend Kevin responds with, yeah, sure. What are you guys looking to eat? Are you looking for high end? Are you looking for, and her response is, just a burger or something, just something like casual, kind of thing. We just want to have some fun. So he says, okay. So he gives her a couple of suggestions. And then he returns that with, hey, how long are you in town for? She says, we'll be here till Saturday morning. So he says, okay, because I think Hardy was Thursday night. Yes, Hardy was Thursday night. So they had Friday open. So he's like, well, hey, we live downtown on Friday. Why don't we get together for a drink? And she was with her boyfriend. So he makes that clear, that she made that clear that her and her boyfriend were coming to town. So he says, hey, well, I'd love to meet up with you guys, grab dinner or drinks or something along those lines. Nothing. He gets no response. Saturday comes and goes, so knowing that she left Saturday morning, he sends her a message. Hey, hope you had fun in Cincy. Sorry we didn't get to meet up. It would have been nice to see you. Well, my boyfriend didn't want to meet with you, so they didn't go. So
they stood him up.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he wasn't waiting for them somewhere, but they just blew him off.
Yeah. So he asked me, he's like, do you think that's insecure? I'm like, hell yeah, I think that's insecure. I'm like, you're talking about someone, this girl, mind you, they casually dated 15 plus years ago. She's been married and divorced since then. So this guy wouldn't meet up with a casual date she had 15 years plus ago. I think that's insecure. And I think he should tell her that she might be in a relationship with the wrong kind of guy. Because if you're that insecure, it'd be one thing if she asked to meet up with the ex-husband who was the father of the kid and expected you to have dinner. That's a little bit more. There's a little bit more baggage there. But we're talking about essentially a college.
Oh, she has a kid, too, from that marriage?
Yeah, she has a kid from the marriage. Maybe 2. So, don't you think that's a bit insecure?
I mean, honestly, why does this woman owe your friend a text back at all? She did. Okay, I'm trying to figure out why it's so hard for him to read the room, your friend. She didn't text him back about meeting for a drink or dinner. End of story. Why did he reach out again?
She texted him back with a smiley face.
Okay.
So she saw the comment and responded to it.
Okay.
She's like,
But they didn't have plans. She didn't stand him up.
No.
They did not make plans or anything. She didn't text back. End of story. She owes your friend nothing. No explanation. The fact that your friend got an explanation maybe puts a little bit of like, oh, I see what's going on. You're with somebody who doesn't want to meet up with me. Well, listen, when I'm dating my current husband now, I'm dating him and some old girlfriend from 10 years ago wants to meet up. I might not want to. Who cares?
But
why does that make me insecure?
Well,
why am I going to waste my time doing that? I don't need to go having lunch with every single Tom, Dick, and Harry that, that somebody dated before me. I don't think that makes me insecure. That makes me like, I feel like my time's precious.
Can't you just say that? Hey, no, I don't think that's a good idea. I guess that's where we differ. I would just say, nah, I don't think that's...
Yeah, I think the silence says that.
Well, see, I don't. I think that's insecure. And the fact that she responded after the fact and said, my boyfriend didn't want to meet up with you.
I don't know.
That to me screams that guy's insecure.
I think that...
And no, Ronnie, it has not turned into my ex-lovers. I never dated this girl.
So he said, let's get together for drinks or dinner or whatever.
Yeah, he said, hey,
Friday
I'd
night. And her only reply was a smiley face.
His response exactly was along the lines of, hey, it's more likely that I'll meet you in Cincinnati than I will ever be walking the streets of Madison, Wisconsin, which is where she still lives.
Okay.
So, and she put a smiley face.
Right. And then she went and asked the boyfriend, I'm assuming.
Correct. And then he shot that down.
But then she didn't bother to respond.
And didn't bother to respond.
Okay, Kelly, you're right. She doesn't owe him anything. But it would have been respectful to say, yeah, we're going to pass. It would have just been...
But it doesn't sound like that's satisfactory enough. It's not satisfactory to say... Her not texting back communicates that there's not going to be any getting together.
But she initiated the conversation originally.
I get that.
Well,
you're right. It would have been, maybe it would have due to say, hey, listen, I know you said you want to get together. I don't think it's going to work out this time around.
That's fine.
Good to whatever. That would have been the nice thing to say. But also, I can take a hint. If you don't text me back, I got the hint.
I know.
I'm not digging for answers here. We're exes from many years ago. I don't need an answer from you. You don't text me back. I got it. Peace out. Have a great trip.
He did get it. But he just wondered why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess maybe I don't care. I get I don't care. If you don't text me back, I got it. That's fine.
Andrea says, Queen Kelly for president.
I just think that you would just, out of common courtesy, if you're telling me you're coming to this is not me. I did not date this girl. Like, I appreciate one does not equal the other. I did not date this girl. So, but if you tell me you're coming, if I knew you in college and you tell me you're coming to my town and I haven't seen you since college, it's common. Hey, it'd be great to get together and catch up. That doesn't mean I'm trying to hook up with you on the side.
Right.
Yeah.
Kim says
no.
Yeah,
but how does that make you unable to read the room in terms of not getting a text back about that?
But if I'm the guy in that, and I'm confident that, we're dating now, he lives 100 miles away, they casually dated 15 years, we can make for a beer, I'll say hi.
Okay.
I'm secure enough that I would do that.
I'm not interested in spending my time like that. I don't need to be meeting people's exes. That doesn't make me insecure. I'm just like, hard pass.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Kim says, nope, sorry, that's just weird. Thank you, Kelly.
Disturbed on the Morning Blitz, 8:51. As far as covers go, that's always been one of my favorite, in case you're keeping score at home.
Pretty good.
It is. It's Thick, Kelly, and Lewis. Couples Therapy, brought to you by Tri-State Men's Health. They are the place to go, guys, if you're feeling sluggish, need a little performance help. You can get that testosterone checked. It's a game changer. Perhaps if my friend Kevin would have told this girl that he's got his testosterone in order, it might have been might have changed that whole wanting to meet up thing. But there are 6 locations, 2 here in the Columbus area. Definitely worth checking it out and getting yourself situated. One in Hilliard, one in Westerville. TriStateMen'sHealth.com if you want to check it out. But my friend was telling me over the weekend that a girl he went to school with in Madison, Wisconsin 15 years ago was coming to town for the Hardy concert on Thursday night. She reached out to him. That's the thing I think people are missing. She initiated a conversation and reached out to him rather than Google places to eat in Cincinnati. She chose to ask him where the place was to go. When he offered to buy a drink and meet up with her and her boyfriend, he got blown off after she responded. And then she told her the boyfriend did not want to meet up. I think that's an insecure guy that this girl is dating now. Kelly thinks the complete opposite.
No, I just think she asked for recommendations on restaurants. She did not, and he bumped it up to the next level. Oh, you want a recommendation of a restaurant? Why don't I meet you at that restaurant? No, I didn't invite you. Simply, I asked for a recommendation. Now, listen, you're right. She reached out first. She did. She said, do you have any restaurant recommendations?
No, then say, no, I just wanted a restaurant recommendation.
Somebody said, why are you so angry about it, Kelly? And I hear it. Now. I hear what you're saying. I'm like, I'm not angry, but I think I am angry. I'm angry that you guys cannot take a hint. The hint being, we never set up a date here. So just you're not waiting for me, are you? Like, I didn't answer your text. I didn't make plans with you. That's a hint.
Why a hint?
It's an enormous hint. Maybe she didn't feel like getting into it.
She didn't have to get into it.
I'm saying maybe she just
It's always got to be a head game. Can't just give an honest answer. Why can't it just be an honest response? Why can't you just say, no, I don't want to do that?
That's simple. That's what I would do. Nah, I don't think so.
She could have done that, but she didn't. And I don't know why it's so hard to read that enormous flashing neon sign that she doesn't want to get together with you. Why is that so hard to read?
Because her response didn't make it sound like that.
All right, so you on a Thursday night are going to wait all weekend for this girl to text you back? You're going to put everything on hold.
They were supposed to go Friday night.
It was supposed to be Friday night. Jesse from Canal said, I definitely think there's some insecurity or some potential boundaries that have been put in place with their relationship, and who knows if she even actually asked him. You know.
Text coming in. Kelly always keeping it real. I love it. Well, there you go.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying she could have Googled. She started the conversation.
You're right. She started it. And yes,
she texted
maybe it would have been nice for her to say, listen, man, I just wanted a restaurant recommendation. I'm not looking to go hang out with you. Maybe she could have done that. But in order to not be mean, she just decided to go silent. And I don't think that is necessarily an unacceptable option.
Why does it have to be mean? Why can't she just say, yeah, no, we're not going to have time to do that?
She feels bad about that. I don't know.
Thomas,
so
why? You're not going to see him anymore.
So simple. Right.
Thomas said Google could have answered her question. G. Ritchie said what Rick said earlier. The text stopped. She texted first, then stopped replying it. Why is it so hard for women to speak their minds? Just say no. I don't want to get together. Amber, not the same Amber that's the subject of this discussion, said, it should be common sense that if you're messaging someone you haven't talked to in that long, you're opening yourself up for an invite. So it's only polite to at least respond with sorry, maybe next time or something. Don't open yourself up for the invite or entertain the idea. Don't reach out.
All right.
To begin
I'll
with.
accept that. I'll accept that.
Because that's my thing.
Yeah,
you initiated the conversation.
Okay, all I'm saying is that if I don't answer your text for an invite out, then I'm saying no.
Why, though? But why can't you answer?
I can't tell you that. I'm just saying that you should be able to accept that as a no.
Now, Matt says Kelly really should be charging for all of this amazing advice.
Warforyou.com. I was just curious to see. I would think there's insecurity on her relationship, especially from a guy. And again, my friend Kevin is just a dude she hung out with in college. She did not marry or have kids with him.
I understand that. Now, on the flip side, I will say as a guy, I don't necessarily want to hang out with my girl and her ex.
But I think it depends on how long ago the ex was.
I don't know.
I mean, you're talking about
some guys, it doesn't matter whether it was a year or 20 years.
True. Some guys have a body count of 70 and get mad when their girl has a body count of 3.
So, you don't know what you're walking into. What if he's a douchebag? And I'm not saying your friend is, but you don't know that from that end.
I just think it's just odd that, you could have Googled all those things instead of asking him. You wanted to see if he was around.
Yeah, but you want the local guy's recommendation, right?
Maybe. Johnny said, if I'm a man and my ex from 15 years ago reaches out to me about restaurant recommendations, I'm thinking she wants more than that. Okay.
Yeah, but if she's coming with her boyfriend,
Yeah.
she made that very clear up front.
Correct.
So
She said, my boyfriend and I are going to Hardy.
yeah.
It's not like, hey, I'm in town with some friends.
And she didn't ask him to go.
Correct.
Just asking for a recommendation.
Bottom line is, if you don't get a response, that is your response.
Well, he knew
Well,
that.
that's just rude.
He knew that. He figured that out. He just wondered why.
Yeah. And then she told him.
Yeah.
She told him straight up,
The boyfriend didn't
want
wanna
to
come.
Which to me says he's an insecure F and you should really rethink your relationship.
And she could have said that on Friday, and then he wouldn't have had to wonder if they were going to call and if he should make plans to do something else or not,
Correct. Because if you're an insecure guy in a relationship, for the rest of your life, your girlfriend, your wife, and your sisters will cheat on you with guys like me.
I'm 100% sure that this boyfriend has no idea any of this went down on text.
Really?
You think so?
100% sure.
Really?
That,
Oh, so she's
Yes.
completely dishonest. She's just a complete liar.
she doesn't want to hurt this guy's feelings. She's
Oh,
like, I didn't
God.
answer, but now that you're forcing me to answer, I'll blame it on my boyfriend.
What's wrong?
That's an easy out for me. I'm not going to look like the bad guy.
That's part of what's
That's
wrong.
what happened.
That's why there's a 50% divorce rate, because people don't want to hurt feelings. They can't be honest with each other.
Did I mention that my friend Kevin is also married with 2 kids and had no intention of hooking up with a girl, just wanted to simply say hi? And most likely because his wife is awesome, would have brought her along for all this.
Oh.
Yeah, but he seems awfully bothered by this.
Just-
for it not to mean anything.
All he just said is, wow, I think she's in an insecure relationship. That's what he said. And I
maybe.
tend to agree.
Okay.
All right. If you ever want to send in a letter for couples therapy, you can send that to thickrick@theblitz.com. If you're just looking for some unbiased advice from 3 strangers, in the warped mind of Lewis, thickrick@theblitz.com.
And now, all right, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
Well, hey, everyone loves their bargain shopping, and a lot of people love Big Lots. And we heard, I don't know, was it last month that Big Lots corporate here in Columbus was going to shut down 150 stores. So people have been sort of waiting. What stores are closing? Well, guess what? 0 stores in Ohio are closing. They released the list, and not one single Ohio Big Lots will be closing down. So, I mean, they may still file for bankruptcy protection. We don't know. But as for now, your Big Lots experience is intact.
That's where they caught the gerbil bandit.
What?
That's right.
Oh, he was asleep
At
on the
Big
bench
Lots?
out
That's
in
at
front
Big
of
Lots.
the
Well,
Big Lots at
what do you
Roberts
know?
and
What
Hillary
do you
Rome
know?
Road.
Okay. Well, a new study finds that dark chocolate products sold nationwide may contain excessive amounts of heavy metals. The research was led by scientists at George Washington University and published yesterday in the peer-reviewed published in the peer-reviewed Frontiers in Nutrition, examined over 70 dark chocolate products from retailers such as Whole Foods, Amazon, and GNC. So we're getting all kinds of dark chocolate products, and they were all tested to see whether the heavy metals, lead, cadmium, or arsenic were in them. Almost half of the products studied exceeded acceptable levels of lead. 35% exceeded acceptable cadmium levels. None of the products exceeded the maximum level for arsenic. Now, heavy metals are in our diet. Like, you can't really escape them. And they are naturally excreted by the body through sweat and urine. But if they're consumed in high amounts, they can accumulate in your body and damage major organs. So, it's being recommended that you limit your consumption of dark chocolate. Because I guess some of the rest of your diet's got it in there too, so just to be careful with your consumption of dark chocolate.
Well, how much is too much?
I don't know. You can probably Google search how much is too much. There are daily recommended levels of heavy metal intake, and one of these chocolate bars exceeds that.
Man, my wife is a dark chocolate junkie. And she always talks about the health benefits.
Yeah.
of
Oh
dark
my gosh.
chocolate.
Yeah. They've been beating that drum for years.
Yeah.
That it's a lot more healthy alternative than milk chocolate. So
Like, not even just that it's not as bad, but it's actually good for you.
Yeah.
And then this.
yeah.
It always happens.
Well, if you would prefer the police not find your bag of drugs, do not put them in a sack labeled bag of drugs. Police in St. Petersburg, Florida pulled over a car after the driver was spotted without a seatbelt. And during the stop, they noticed that the passenger, 41-year-old Lauren Riley, was moving things around on the floorboards. So they kind of took a peek in to see what she was doing. And they saw some drug paraphernalia, which of course led to a search. And they found a bag in her purse that said "bag of drugs." Inside bag of drugs was a needle, straws, a metal spoon, 4 glass pipes, and plastic baggies with a white-colored residue. A bag inside the drugs bag contained crack cocaine, powdered cocaine, crystal meth, Xanax.
Oh, wow.
And some other things. So she was arrested on a variety of felonies and misdemeanors.
Is that a buffet?
But
Bag
sometimes
of drugs.
Sometimes you just need to stay organized and label things.
Right. Is that a crime, being organized?
Yeah.
Going back to your previous story, Doug said heavy metal has always been a part of my diet. Steve says, I love me some cadmium cream eggs. And so Brandon said, so you mean eat more dark chocolate, because I'm all for heavy metal.
So. All right. Those are your 3 things.